3, 2, 1.
Good day everyone, GarageKing here, and welcome to the Snap-on 2025 Dad's Day gift guide. This one is valid from May 12th to June 30th, so I'm posting it early. It just dropped, so the prices are not in effect yet, but they will be in a little while, but at least it gives you a sneak preview and you can take a look. And just remember your dad, right? He always wants what's best for you. Now you can return the favor. It's awesome. Anyway, let's get in here and let's see what we got. So we got some nice stories. So nice and sweet. And then what we do is we got some gloves over here. Now, some of these gloves are actually quite expensive. So these ones here, it says no more busted knuckles. Like, I get it, but letter A, if we pan down over here, we can see they're $100. Now, I know they're thermoplastic and they got some Armortex palm reinforcement panel, but like, I don't get knuckle busters, and these ones were like, let's just say they were cheap. So I don't know if I'd be spending $100 on that. And even if you go to letter B, which is sort of the thinner ones, I know they're touchscreen capable, and those ones drop quite substantially. You know, they're only $39, but I still think that is expensive for gloves. But you know, maybe your dealer will sell them even cheaper. We got some TIG gloves. That's letter C, and obviously those look like that. You can tell they're welding gloves. And then lastly, letter D is $57. They're the original mechanics gloves, and they look like that. As we pan over to here, we can see we have some feeler gauges. So how much are the feeler gauges running? And yes, there is high visibility there. So E, there is the price of the feeler gauges. So you can get offset or straight, up to you, SAE metric. And then at the bottom here, you can see we have a metric pocket rule, and that is right there. That's letter F. Let's turn the page and let's keep going, everyone, because this one's pretty big. So you might have to get some popcorn ready, maybe make yourself some coffee or do something, because this is a bit of a long flyer. So anyway, stay strapped in with me. Letter A here, tools not shown included. We get it, but it is a bit holder. That's letter A. And A to F here, you can see it's all the magnetic tool holders. They're all flexible. So A, what I just showed you, that is $44.50. We can have a flexible magnetic mat for $67. That looks a little bit different. And there you go, letter B, that's what it looks like. And it's got a unique folding design right there. Then for C, we have a screwdriver holder, and that is $53, down from $59. And then we have a magnetic can holder. Keep in mind, it's a 3-pack. So for $61, you're gonna get that 3-pack. You can slap it on the side of your toolbox or even on the side of your fridge, I guess in the kitchen if you want. And then we have our flexible magnetic wrench holder. That is $80, securely holds up to 10 wrenches. That is what it looks like. And then if we pan over here, letter F, we have a super flexible, ultra durable socket rail. And it is available 1/2-inch drive, there's a price, 3/8 drive, there's a price, 1/4 drive, there is the price. So let's pan over to the next page. And here we have an adjustable magnetic holder. This is kind of interesting because these things, you can open them up or close them. So this way you can hang kind of, I guess, oddball shaped stuff. And how much are they going to charge us for that? What do you want for that, Snappy? You want $51. You know, it's actually maybe not that bad, and it holds up to 20 pounds. Now, letter H is the grab and go surface protector, $98. It's a fair size, so it's 2 feet by 19 inches. And it's got carbon fiber vinyl surfaces, and that's what it looks like. So this actually would be pretty good, especially I just think if you're working in a car so you don't have wrenches and stuff rolling away on you or screwdrivers getting under the seat. So I think that would be kind of interesting. We can see the price of the shears here. These are M and N, and they're pretty pricey, the shears. They're $68 and $72 respectively. And then if we pan over here, we got the soft mats. So the I, which is the little micro mat, the 2x2, that's on sale for $15. Just give you a pan right there. There's the number there. And here we have a 12x2. So this is long, I guess, if you're working under the car, you can line up screwdrivers or something on it. Number J, that is $43 for that. I think that's kind of pricey. And then obviously you have sort of the little square, and then you have the bigger one. This is the one I like. I would like to get it one day. That's K and L. And those are going to run us $40 and $88 for those ones. So that's everything on this page. Let's go to the next page. Over here, we have never lose parts again. So we just have these magnetic things that stick to your toolboxes. Don't mind mine. So for this one here, pan down, give you the price. They in my mind, they're way too expensive, $85. The magnetic bowl 2-piece, that was B. That's this one over there. That is $77. And then if we pan over here, we have letter C, which is a 3/8 socket drive wrench holder, nylon 66. So it must be a special type of nylon. And that's what it looks like. It's magnetic, so it will hold your stuff. This thing will hold your work gloves. So if you have those pull-out work gloves, you slide it in there. For the glove dispensing rack, $72 for that glove dispensing rack. I have my Tiger grips right up there. That's what I use. And then at the bottom, we have the collapsible magnetic dish, letter G, $45. I didn't pay that much for it, and I bought it not that long ago, so the price has really gone up on that one. I did buy it, and actually I really like it because it is super soft. So I know there's probably another manufacturer that makes this, but anyway, it's kind of cool to have the Snap-on name on it, I guess. So let's pan over to the next page. So no, this is not a toolbox. What it is it's a massive magnetic panel type sticker. So well, I shouldn't say sticker, it's a magnetic panel, $123. And then we have wrench organizers. These are Blue Point ones. They are $21.15 on sale. And it's kind of interesting, they're reversible. So depending on which way you stack your wrenches, you can either get the regular ones or the reversible ones. And who's to say what's regular and what's reversible? It's actually, I guess, what you like. We have a stackable design, and these are just toolbox organizers, L&M. And you can see they are close to $100 each. So I don't know, that's a lot of money. They're probably, made out of super durable plastic, but I just think that's still a lot of money. And then over here, number N, we have a tool organizing wrench ring, and you get 12 rings, keep an entire set of wrenches together for easy transport. So I don't think it's worth that, but it is a good idea. And then we have the Formula 920 tool cleaner. So you can either get it in the aerosol or you can get it in the wipes. I bought the Formula 920 steel wipes, and I do really like them. I use them on sockets, and they work fabulous for keeping them sort of, protected, and they just work really well for cleaning. What do we got on the next page? I don't know if this is a new tool or whatever. I've never heard of it. It's an all-in-one combination cutter. So grooves on the front indicate a flush cut. You can see those grooves there. I'll zoom in for you. There's the grooves. Performs intricate flush cuts at the point and tougher hard wire cuts at the throat. So at the rear of it there. And this thing there is going to set us back $81 for that. And then letter B, we have a clip lift tool, which is over there. And then letter C, we have a wide trim removal tool. Now I find for clip removal tools, these Mueller cups or Mueller cubes, however you pronounce it, do fabulous. I kept them in the box just because I'm still trying to organize this drawer, and I don't want to throw out the foam, but I'll have to keep them out. But in terms of like panel stuff, I found that these work awesome. This one's actually, it is a Blue Point, you can see there, and it's just super thin. You can see how thin it is. And then this one, you better be careful if it's in your back pocket, because it's gonna, it's gonna stab you, and you definitely don't want that going through a leather seat. But I found this one is super good, and you know what? I found them both, or not both. Well, actually they are both on Amazon, because Metal Madgery makes this one. I'll put the link in, so actually they are both on Amazon, but I only found it after I bought the Blue Point one, or I just would have bought it on Amazon. So next up, we have these little mini pry bars. Those are E and F, and you can either get the angle tip, or let's get some focus, angle tip or straight tip, and they are $20 a pop. So they are really strong. A lot of people really like them, and my dealer says he does sell a lot of them. And then for G, we have one that's slightly bigger, a 10-inch straight blade strike and pry bar, and that is $46. That's what it looks like, and you can get it in 3 colors. And here we have a whole bunch of just saw blades here. There's the price of it. So you can get general purpose wood, plastic, bimetal, precision metal, and junkyard demolition. So those are the big ones if you want to put them in your Sawzall. Let's move over to the next page. So now we have slip nose joint pliers. I absolutely do love Snap-on pliers. I find they work really good. Let's pan over there to L. Here we go, 5-inch talon grip. They are $68. And before we go any further, I want to show you something. Here's my toolbox, and if you remember from last week, I think it was around a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, you remember how messy it was. So I actually found these on Amazon, these steel wire ones, and I straightened everything up. But you know what? I still didn't have enough room. So I wanted to totally empty this drawer and use it for something else, but I just couldn't. So Snap-on, you have the front row in this drawer. The problem is with my toolbox, this is a quite old toolbox. If I try to stand them up this way, you can see here, they're just too tall. So these ones have to lay flat. Like this toolbox is not deep enough. So I don't know what else to do with it. I can't organize them this way because obviously this drawer is deeper than the other drawer. So anyway, this is what I'm stuck with now, but it looks a lot better than it did last time you guys watched. Next up, protect your phone while working. Oh, and how much is that going to cost us? Sideways nylon phone case, 36 bucks. I don't know if anyone still wears these. I mean, maybe someone does. I just don't know. Anyway, the adjustable pliers, which are great for front end work, they're on sale for $120, and these ones have the quick adjust barrel nut right here. It's got a barrel design, and those ones I get a lot of really positive comments on. As far as the USB stuff goes, I don't know if anyone actually buys it, and I don't know if it's any different than your basic stuff that you would get off Amazon, but there's the prices, $46 and $34. Snap-on picks. I do really like the Snap-on picks, and these ones are the long one. They have the Instinct handle, so they are $91, available in orange and green. I don't have the long ones, but if you rifle through my toolbox, you'll see I have the shorter ones with the hard handle, and they just hide everywhere. There's another one, and believe it or not, this one with the weird design is probably one of the ones I use the most. Anyway, I do like the Snap-on picks. These things here, I've seen them a few times, and if anyone's actually bought any of them, I'd appreciate if you let me know if they actually work that good. So these are these mounts, and I guess you could like mount your phone to it, magnetic auto kit, and I guess it holds your phone. And then anyway, there's the price on them. I don't know exactly how they work, so I really can't say too much about them, because if I don't know, I don't want to say. So if anyone can maybe help us out with this or answer or has seen someone use it, let me know if they're worth it or how well they actually work. Anyway, lost for words on that one, so let's just turn the page and keep going. Needs no introduction. These are just measuring tapes, and you can get it in high vis, and there's a price of the measuring tapes. And then on this side, tape measures continue. These are just non-shown, different sizes. So we have 5 meter, we have SAE metric, 16 foot and 25 foot. There's the prices. And then we have a reversible blade screwdriver set on for $38. And what does that look like? That's exactly what it looks like. So these are these things, you can take them out and just flip them around whichever way you want. And then letter C here, we have the interchangeable shank screwdriver. There you go, right there for $72. And we have the ratcheting screwdriver, and that's all the way up to $103 for a ratcheting screwdriver. I can't believe it. I do have one that I bought years ago. And you know what? It does work really well. Like I really like it, and actually I'm surprised the white is still on it. So let's pan over to the next page. Let's see what we have. Drill and drive. So these things are kind of unique. You can put them in your bit driver. So you don't use them with a regular drill. You can use them in a bit driver, like one of those impacts. And let's see how much they are. Here goes, drill and driver set. So they are Blue Point, and that's the price. So they're on sale for $84. There we have a power driving set for $96. And then we have a drill and driver set for $108. And if you want a close-up of what they look like, there you go. You can see that's what they look like close up. Over here we have an Air Chuck dual foot. That's on sale for $85. That's what it looks like right there. And then if we pan over here, we had a tread depth gauge. That's $12.40 on sale. And then we have the digital tire pressure. That is the Blue Point one. That is on sale for $115. And over here, we have a hex shank bit. And that is a Blue Point one, and that is $90. So there was the prices. You see the dual foot tire pressure gauge, digital gauge, and the hex shank bit I just showed you. That is $90. If we go over here, we have some very long test leads. That's letter M. How long are they? 60 inches, so 5 feet for $42. We got a probe kit, and that is $50 for all those ends right there. And if you're wondering what this one is, that is the 23-piece quarter drive quick change bit set from Blue Point, $81, and that's it right there, the quick change bit set. Let's turn the page, everyone. Here we have a boatload of lights. So I don't even know how I'm going to get through them all, but I guess we got to. So we'll go through them pretty quick. So this one here, letter A, 2-in-1 lighting. It is 500 lumens. So 500 lumen is pretty decent. That is bright. Then we have letter B, which is 400 lumen project light. That's what that one looks like, just like that. And then letter C, we have a 300 lumen aluminum pen light. And that's what that looks like, just like that. Then letter D over here, we have a 400 lumen mini inspection light. So that's what that one looks like, and that's $104. And then over here, letter E, this is 300 lumen, $89. And then what do we got here? Letter F, F. Let me find you F. There you go, replaceable silicone mouthpiece. This one is $89. It's only 125 lumen, but 125 lumen is still pretty good. And then letter G right over here, we have, this is a 14.4 volt, 500 lumen, and it's a tool only right there for $118. And then this is nice, 625 lumen mini project light for $115. That's actually fairly bright, and that's what that one looks like. I'll pan over so you can see the page. That's what they all look like. And just, I'll kind of zoom in here, and then if you want to pause a video just to get part numbers or anything like that, or verify what I'm saying, feel free to do so. All right, that's just a wish list here. So let's change this, or not change it, but let's flip it over. Let's see what we got. Now over here, we have a power bit set now. Power bit set 139, and it's got some tamper-proof stuff in it. There's everything it has. I won't go listing all that out, but you can see. And then we have a right angle drill or screwdriver, and that's from J to K, 14.4 volts. And I'll show you what those look like right there. Integrated light, variable speed. Now for these ones, it does say special, Dad's Day only special. And you know what? When you look at the price, they are quite a bit reduced. Like that's almost $100 off. So these ones are actually reduced quite a bit. So I'm impressed with that, Snap-on. Thank you for that. Those ones are, you know, that's pretty decent. And then over here, we have Cobalt short drill bit sets. And that's what they're worth. And that is L and M. And if we go up here, L and M, those are those short little drills like that. Now, if we pan over here, we have a carbide burr set. You can see that's a smaller one. And we have one in a bag. Those are bigger ones. So here's the one I showed, the smaller one, that's 164. And those are the bigger ones in the bag. Those are 271. And then lastly, we have a 10-piece stud remover and installer kit. And you can see we have SAE metric and the metric add-on kit. Those are the prices. And that is what they look like. Let's turn the page, everyone. More lights. Wow. All right, well, let's get to it. So these got a magnetic base. These ones are kind of interesting because they actually have UV spotlights. So maybe you can use them when you're doing air conditioning dye. And so those ones actually might be kind of interesting. And those are $170, and they're quite bright at 550 lumens. Letter B, we got pivot head ones. That's $146. If you're wondering what it looks like, that's what you get for $146. Letter C is an aluminum pocket light, and that's what it looks like right there. So just a small little pocket light there. And then if we go over to letter D here, we can see these are very bright. These are 1100 lumen rechargeable battery mini work light, and those are $161. So 1100 lumens, that is quite bright. And then down here, letter E, if we look, this is 211, and again, 1000 lumens for letter E. This is sort of like a folding one right there, so you could fold it up different ways. So I don't know if it operates sort of folded up if you can do that, but anyway, that one's kind of interesting. And another 1000 lumen for 184, and that is letter F. And there you go. That's what that one looks like. Letter G, we got a dual source articulating light, and that is what that one looks like. So when you're underneath, you can just bend it all the way around, and that is $214. And then finally, last one, we have a 14.4 micro lithium tool only 166, and that's 1000 lumens. So again, a bright. So they're doing a lot of the 1000 lumen, and that's like 1000 lumens is pretty bright. Once we go over to this page, we're not going to be 1000 lumen. We're going to be down to 550. Letter I, what do we get for 550? Well, 130.50. That's how much we're going to have to pay. I kind of sound like an auctioneer. I got to slow myself down a little bit sometimes. Anyway, letter J, 300 lumen. That's a neck light. That is $133. And that's what you get for $133. Now, I want to say something. I found these, and I think these are pretty much almost the same on Amazon. They're easy red. They're super bright. They work fantastic. I have absolutely no issues with them. The only thing is I think the Snap-on has one cord and it sort of charges through, where this one came with a Y adapter. So you got a little Y adapter and then you plug it in to charge it. And if anyone's thinking of buying these, I would say the Easy Reds are the way to go, although they don't pop apart. I think the Snap-on ones do pop apart. And whatever you do, don't buy one of these on Amazon because they're absolute crap. They get really warm on your head and they get really dim very fast. They only last like a minute or two and then they go to like half brightness. So these ones are absolute garbage. Over here, you can see we have a T-shaped, L-shaped combination. One is SAE, one is metric, and for those sets, you are going to pay $155. And if we go down here, we have a Bluetooth speaker. It is the 14.4 volt one, $250. Premium hi-fi sound. In my garage, that's what I use from Amazon, and actually it does have Bluetooth and it works just fine. Probably doesn't sound as good as a Snap-on though. Up here, we have a two-piece heavy-duty angled striking carbon scraper set. Now, I know their carbon scrapers are really good. Anyway, $40, I wish it was $40, $140, and that is what you get. That is what they look like. And you can see from the picture, they kind of have that steel on the back where you can whack them with a hammer, and there's a better picture. Now, in terms of a big pry bar, but this is a striking pry bar, $208, but it is 3 feet long. So that's the long one. Here's mine in my toolbox. I think it's a 3-footer anyway. It's very durable and I've used it for a lot of things. Mine's not the striking one. You can see there's a handle, but it is really well, like it's not gonna break, that's for sure. So let's turn the page and let's see what we have next. Hopefully we're done with the lights because that was a lot of lights, everyone. All right, so accurate tire pressure, letter A. So we have one of these tire pressure gauges here, and that is 245. It is a Blue Point. And then we have a handheld cordless inflator tool only, and that is 212. That's what it looks like just there. Then we get a White Skull Extreme Face Protector. That is $270, and I know those things are fairly expensive. And then we get a booster cable set. Now it's 20 feet, quite long, but $265. It does say 500 amps with insulated jaws, but still, that's a lot of money for that kind of stuff, everyone. Hold accessories with tabs that fit into the slot. So this is just something that fits into the side of your toolbox. That is letter E. And slotted side panel. Yeah, so it's $198. Then we have the 6-piece organizer. The nice thing is it comes in high vis, and there's all those organizing pieces that you do get. But it is still gonna set you back to $217. What do we have on the next page? We have an 18-inch power tool rack for $255. That's what that one looks like. And then we have an adjustable machinist square over there. That is $201. And finally, we have the multi-tool, which is still $223. I mean, that's way more than a Leatherman, but I mean, I guess it is Snap-on. So let's go over to the new page. It looks like Snap-on's getting a little bit into detail because here we have a foaming soap gun, and that's gonna set you back $231. And then we have the butane soldering iron kit. This is something that I'm interested in because you don't have to worry about lugging an electrical wire around. So it's really nice and really, really portable. It's still $275, and that's what it looks like. And it does have, it looks like it has a magnetic base to it. Next up, we have L and M, which are hose nozzles. So there's L and there's M. So L over here, that's the Pro inline hose nozzle. They're on sale for $136. And then the pistol grip ones are $162. Those are the numbers if you're interested. And you can get the pistol grip in high visibility. Let's pan over here. Here we have an 18-piece electrical circuit test lead kit. That is N. So if we go over there you can see there's all your little test leads. I think that's quite pricey for what you're actually getting. And then we have a 25-piece electrical interchangeable bit mini screwdriver kit. And there you can see, so you're getting a lot in that screwdriver kit, and it even comes in nice foam. So that's quite nice, but it is not cheap at $170 for that. Let's turn the page. Now, these are really interesting, these hoodies, because when I first saw the flyer, I looked at the price and I thought, oh my God, what is that? $371? But then I realized they're battery powered, so they actually heat you up somehow. I don't know how they even work, but anyway, if anyone's got any comments, they're not on sale. This is just what they are. I'll just pan over. We won't spend too much time on here. And then the first thing that we do have on sale is the safety glasses. And if you're wondering why they're $340, they have the bone conduction speakers that keep things clean so you can listen to music or whatever, and you can actually pair it with your phone and you can get incoming calls without actually putting stuff in your ear. So, I mean, they're pretty decent, but I just don't know if they're worth that kind of money. That's all I'm saying. And then lastly, we have a 6-piece wrench bit organizing set. That is $314. So you get all those 6 pieces, but you're spending $314, so it's still not cheap. And you know what? No high vis over there. So let's go to the next page here. We have a big fan, letter F. Let's see how much air this sucker will move well. $730, 10,000 CFM, and it is a 30-inch drum fan. And then next up we have tool only. That's a cordless blower, $303. You all know what a cordless blower looks like. And then we have the heavy duty fan right there. That is the 18 volt right there, tool only. And that one is $303. Pan down here, and we have the Monster Lithium Bluetooth speaker. That is $303. It's radio, it's everything, $300. That's what it looks like. And then if we go over here, we have the vacuum cleaner. And if you heard my voice go up, it's because I actually bought the vacuum cleaner on sale, and I'm very happy with it. So anyway, if you want the review, I'll throw up the link for the vacuum cleaner. So here we have some power tools. So we have impact driver, toggle screwdriver, we have a regular screwdriver, we have inline screwdrivers, inline drill. So we have pretty much everything here. Let's see how much this stuff's gonna cost us. So first, for the quick change impact driver, the tool only $472, or the kit is $840, and that's what it looks like, just like so, and that's 14.4 volt. And then here for the cordless screwdriver, pretty much almost the same price, $432 or $800. Keep in mind, these aren't on sale. They're just dad's gifts over $300. Snap-on's promoting them. And then if we go here, we have the toggle screwdriver. Again, $440 or $805. So they're all within the same price. And then if we go over here, we got the screwdriver drill. These ones for the tool only are actually a little bit less. They're $351, and I showed you what those ones look like. So the drill would be kind of interesting like there. Anyway, let's move on to the next page. So here's the SAE add-on kit. This was for the stud kit that was on the other page, and that is on sale for $374. So that's just the add-on kit. Special deal, limited quantities, I guess while they last. That's a big price reduction for a 1/2-inch drive air impact wrench. It is a Blue Point, and that's what it looks like. So that one actually is one of the deals that I can say is, you know, looks like a pretty decent deal. Here we have a brake caliper press for pushing the pistons back in. I'm really interested in buying this because I think it would work on the ones in the rear where this one's too big. This is a Blue Point one, but it's too big because when you collapse it, it only goes so small. So for a lot of rear brakes, it is just, it's too wide. Works for front brakes, but doesn't work for rear brakes. So I think this would be good. But the problem with this one is the price. I think it's just too expensive at $315. There is a pencil die grinder from Blue Point that's $347. I bought a cheapo one, and you know what? I never even use it, so I don't know if anyone uses that kind of stuff. And then we have an 8-piece carbide burr set, letter J, that is $520. That's what it looks like, just like that. And if you're looking at letter K, that's 29-piece, high-speed mechanics length. There you go. Flat shank drill bit set, $430, so quite a bit. And then lastly, we have this LED snap-on silhouette logo panel light, $400. Anyway, that's what it is. Mind you, it is magnetic, so if you want to mount it to something, you just slap it to something, I guess. So it does have these powerful earth magnets in it, and it uses your standard 110 volt AC. And actually, I think it includes remote control for color changing colors and flashing capacity, huh? Oh well. Next page. What do we got here? We got a 3-piece use together as a floodlight. So use together as a floodlight or individual. So you can just sort of clip them on and off. And what are those suckers worth? $500, 2,700 lumen. That is super bright, but that's all together. They're 900 each, so 27 when you add the 3, right? Or on low, there you go, 90 or 270. For those that are really good math, you can see all we're doing is taking off some zeros there. there's the colors that they're available in. Now, this one's kind of interesting, a coolant refill retention tool. So it's $770. This is what it looks like. And I've seen a few videos, but how well does this work for actually retaining your coolant? I guess so it doesn't come out of the system. Like, are you able to actually change a lower rad hose without losing fluid with this thing? I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm getting when I hear retention tool. It should stop it, you know, save significant time on coolant jobs. But how much does it actually hold? Like hold the coolant in the vehicle? Anyway, I'd be very curious to hear, because that I have no idea and I don't know. And then next we have an interchangeable tip 12-volt digital display circuit tester. That is $376. And I guess there it is, and that's because it has the interchangeable tips. I don't know if I'd buy that one. If you want, here's my drawer. Mine doesn't have interchangeable tips, much cheaper. There's the digital one. It does work very well, but for most techs starting out, you know what, this one you can see it's already changed color, but it works like a charm. There's my original snap-on one. Obviously, it's old school. Next up, we have a scanner. Now, this scanner looks pretty interesting. It's a Blue Point scanner. It works on all 96 and newer OBD2 vehicles. So it does a ton of stuff, $473. And you know what I'm gonna show you? It looks just like this Innova one, like pretty much identical. And even the I was gonna say snap-on, but the Blue Point one glows. This glows too when you turn it on. So I think Innova makes them. And if I was gonna buy this one, I would rather, let me straighten this out here. I would rather go for the Innova, and I'll tell you why. The Innova, you're able to get a OBD1 kit with it. So you're able to get all the adapters. It's just a different cord right here, and you can get the adapters, and then you can do all OBD1 stuff. Whereas the Blue Point one is just OBD2. So to me, that looks like the exact same scanner. Next up, we just have some welding helmets. I know this has been a super, super long video, so I'm not gonna go through each one, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zoom in here so you can see the prices of the different helmets. And you can pause the video if you wish, because I know the video is it's getting quite long, and I apologize for that. But I do like to be thorough, everyone. And that's it for that. Let's turn the page and see what else we got. And oh, we do have a few things here. We do have a creeper. This is the one that pops up. The ride height can get as high as 5.5-inch ground clearance, or low ride height, so it's adjustable. This one looks similar to the one that I got, but mine, obviously it's not shown. This is the one I got here. I wish I kind of got red, but I got black with white lettering. They do have the heavy duty one with the 4-inch casters, and it's got you know, a little bit more ground clearance. Anyway, I absolutely love my snap-on creeper. Like, I know I paid a lot for it, but whatever, it's just one of those things, right? And then last, we have just an under hood service tray by Blue Point, $432, and it's adjustable. And this is a long flyer, everyone. Lastly, we have these roll carts here, $2,200. There's the colors, you can get them. If anyone's bought one, let me know. I kind of want one of these, because in my garage, you can see what happened to my roll cart. It's just full of stuff, everybody. So that is it for the Father's Day flyer for 2025, and that's for May and June. You know what? Hard to believe. Probably just in a few weeks, I will actually have the June sales flyer of the month out. So stay tuned. I am GarageKing. That is it. Questions, comments, concerns, please leave them below. What can I say? Thanks, everyone. And happy early Father's Day to you fathers out there.